Alright, so we got the transmission figured out. We got a snapped input shaft off of the input shaft of the transmission broke, but unfortunately that little piece of the shaft is now lost in the converter, so the truck's going to get a new converter as well. Waiting on parts on that, but we got the go-ahead to continue dismantling this truck. So my first step I want to do is get this hood off of here and get some more light into the engine bay. So we're going to knock that out and drain some coolant and get to work. Much better. We can actually see what's going on now. So I'm going to drain the coolant, and probably another day this week we'll start pulling the supercharger off. So we got lots to do, but this is a good start. Get some light in here and get after it. So I realized whenever I was pulling the hinges that I really didn't actually need to pull the lift struts, because they're actually going to the hinge, not to the hood, but they still lay flat without, otherwise they stand up. So it ended up being okay that I pulled them. I didn't really cause any harm doing it that way. It just, at that moment, was probably slightly unnecessary, but no big deal. Welcome back to Batman Garage. It's a cold day out in the garage, and we have a snow day. Can't really go anywhere. So what better thing to do than work out in the garage on the Lightning? Did buy a little space heater, so it's gone up from 37 to 38 now. It's still cold. But anyways, started pulling the radiator out. I got the fan shroud out the other night, and I'm going to show you the transmission lines on the 2003 require a special tool. They're quick disconnect, and it works. You clip this on the line like that, and then you push the tool and the line in together, and then it releases the finger clips, and then you can slide the whole thing out. And I got the top one out. The bottom one's kind of being a little bit of a finicky. Couldn't quite get the line to come out, and then I realized, I traced the lines down and realized that it's been bypassed or cut off. So I don't even really have to take them off, other than, you know, wanting them out. But for removal purposes, I don't need to remove them. I should be able to pull the radiator without having those all the way off, and that also means I could cut further up here, so I don't have to interfere with my power steering line, but I could cut the line up here and be totally fine. Alrighty, now that I've got the radiator out and I got a lot more space to move over here, we're going to take the belt off and start working on pulling the supercharger off. So got a square drive right here. Looks like a 1/2 inch, or maybe used to be a 1/2 inch before somebody rounded it off. Okay. Try to snake the belt out behind the tensioner, like that. Now we can take our pulley bridge off, runs across the side. And then we can also work on pulling the supercharger off next. So the key to doing this, the key to doing a big swap like this, especially considering I'm going to have two of these trucks apart at the same time, I'm keeping everything organized. I got a Ziploc bag with throttle body bolts, the spring for the throttle body, and then the throttle body bracket. We're going to take all that stuff, I take all that stuff together and put it on the shelf together. So I did the same thing with my pulley bridge bolts and nuts. A little bag for those. And we're just going to keep working our way until we fill up the shelf and get enough stuff off the truck where we can get it out. I was getting ready to figure out how to drain the intercooler, and there's a line that goes down this direction. I was trying to figure out where that went, figure out what that connected to so I could see if I could disconnect it. And then I followed it down this way, and it just comes out here into the openness. So that is a built-in drain hose for the intercooler, and upon further inspection, on the bottom side of it, there's actually a valve. See if I can get the camera down in there. There's actually a valve built into the bottom of it. Well, heater's still running full blast. We're still dripping a little bit, not much, but we're almost empty out of the can, out of the ice box. But we did warm up a little bit in the garage. We're up to 42 now. Still chilly out here, but I stopped for lunch and ready to get back to it. First one here on the passenger side, it came out with quite a bit of material on the threads, so I think they may have stripped that out going in. So we may have to do some thread repair, or maybe try to use a longer bolt. I don't know. We'll figure that one out once we get this thing apart. I, for the life of me, could not get the supercharger separated from the mid plate. I was prying on it and bending pry bars. There's supposed to be 3 bolts on each side. It should be pretty simple to come out, but it's fighting me. So I ended up pulling the back elbow, pulling the elbow off of the back of the supercharger. And then hopefully that'll give me enough space to come up with the supercharger, clear the firewall back in here. And then I guess I'm just gonna have to pull the intercooler with the supercharger, which is gonna make it quite heavy, but you know, it is what it is. So wish me luck. It's on here just to help kind of pull the engine forward a little bit because it's kind of rolling back on the engine mounts a little bit. I think I've got everything disconnected. My vacuum line for my boost bypass. Fuel line is not actually connected to the charger. I think we're ready to go. It's gonna be pretty heavy. It's gonna be pretty awkward because I've got that much intercooler under the bottom of it, but we'll see what happens. Hands in the way. Maybe not. Might need to pull the bypass valve off the back of it too. Oh, yep, lost a bolt. That's not good. Good. See it? All right. 3 of those are out. And the last one's there. Okay, boost bypass valve is off. I need to find a Ziploc bag. Get this bag of bags. That's fine with me. Alright, now we'll go back to pulling Supercharger. Hopefully it comes up without too much fanfare. Now, this is where having a second person would be lovely. Try to do this without busting my ass. All right. Don't really like that, but got the Supercharger off, dug out the skill saw, found some scrap wood in the backyard. I'm at my cutting station right there, and built a little kickstand for the Supercharger to sit on. So nothing fancy, but at least keep that the whole assembly from dumping forward. Before I actually install this on the Harley, I'll probably put the bottom bolts back in it, and it'll probably go back in the same way it came out, unfortunately, which is a real pain because the back of the elbow back here, there's bolts across the bottom which are wedged way in the back and are, you can't see them, can't even hardly feel them. But you know, this is what you get when you work on other people's cars that maybe didn't get them installed properly. But or maybe it was a used blower and he bought it used and didn't realize it was already tore up. I don't know, but it is what it is. We got it out, and the next big step will be back on the Lightning. We'll be finishing pulling fuel lines, coolant lines, and that sort of stuff, and then we'll be ready to pull the whole engine out. But overall, the turkey pan looks pretty clean in there. Didn't look hateful bad. So it's been recently serviced. So, you know, as much as I want to talk smack about the blower, overall the truck's in pretty good shape. So, well, I know I said we were going to keep going, but I've had enough fun for one day. After fighting that blower to get it off, and just kind of lost some motivation. So I feel like I'm at a decent stopping point for the day, and I had to put away some tools, put away the skill saw that I am done with. And yeah, so hopefully in the next video I'll have the engine ready to come out and removing it, and we can be on to the next trucks, on to the next part of the project. So appreciate y'all hanging out, checking out a video of mine. I really appreciate y'all. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit the notification button. That's the third one. So you can check out all my content when it comes out. I appreciate y'all, and I will catch you on the next one.